Would you believe a plain MDF cutout could turn into a stunning, snowy Christmas chapel window? Watch as I use simple mixed media techniques to create a magical holiday transformation you'll want to try yourself. Hello, my crafty friends. I'm Donna from Mason Creations, etc., and welcome to my channel. If you're ready to do some Christmas creating, my friends, let's make a mess. We are going to make this chapel window MDF cutout beautiful today. It comes in two pieces, so you get a great 3D appearance. Plus, we're going to add even more 3D applications today, so make sure you stick around to the end. This rice paper is larger than the window, so I'm going to do some piecing together. I decided to use the right side of the paper because the design goes up the side as well, on the right. I'm going to have to do some fancy footwork to make this work. I moved the paper all the way to the right and taped it to the back of the window. This and all the products you're going to see me use today came from DecoupageNapkins.com, my wonderful sponsors. There's a pretty design at the very top right that I'm going to cut out and move to the center. I'm marking on the back of the paper where the wood is so I can make my cuts in those places. I positioned the area of the paper that I want in the center and then marked that with my pencil as well and cut it to fit. By making all my cuts where the wood design is, you'll never be able to tell that I've pieced this together. I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color cotton on the back piece because I'm going to decoupage the rice paper there. Make sure you always paint white or a very light off-white wherever you're going to decoupage rice paper or a napkin. White allows the colors in your images to look more vibrant. Dark colors will make your images look dark and muddy. I love Dixie Belle chalk paint. It goes on smooth and creamy and has great coverage. It's great as a base coat. I'm going to add 2 coats to make sure my white is completely opaque. I'm painting the top piece with Pentart Light Brown. And Pentart is another fabulous paint that covers extremely well. I never need more than 1 coat, even with their metallic colors. I'll let that dry for about 30 minutes and then I'm going to do some really cool texture with a different color. Just wait, this is really cool. I'm putting a little bit of Pentart Country Green paint in a little paper cup. Now I'm adding Pentart 3D powder to the paint. This adds a gritty, rustic texture to the paint. I love this look. I'm using a palette knife to apply this. Don't even try to put this on with a brush. It's too thick and gets up in between all your bristles. I put this on without doing full coverage. This is going to be kind of behind the scenes and just make a slight appearance here and there. The window will look like it's had several colors of paint throughout the years and is distressed and chipping. We're going to have another coat of distress in a different form as soon as this dries in about an hour. Where are you all watching from, my crafty friends? Let me know in the comments. I just love to see what cities and countries all my friends are watching from. I'm filming from sunny Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm going to apply Crackle paste over top of the whole window frame, again using my palette knife. Some areas I'm putting it on thick and some areas I'm putting it on thin and almost scraping most of it off. In those areas, the green will slightly show through. I'm not really doing full coverage on this one either. This paste is going to crack, making this window look really battered and weathered. If any of it went over the sides, I scraped it off. Where you put it on thick, the cracks will be very large. Wherever I put it on thin, the cracks will be very tiny. Use this as a guide. You can control the size of the cracks. This will need to dry for several hours. While it's drying, you can watch the cracks start to appear. DecoupageNapkins.com has such a great selection of napkins that you can purchase one at a time. They carry many other craft supplies such as rice paper, paint, clay, molds, and a great selection of polyvine products. Over 9,000 products and growing. They are wonderful to work with and will send your order out fast. You'll receive free shipping on orders over $75 and special bonus points for orders over $100. Subscribe to their newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. They are truly your one-stop shop for craft supplies. Make sure you check them out. I'll be leaving links for all the products I use in my description box below, as well as more information on the previously mentioned promotions. Please note that any of these promotions are subject to future changes. Just look at these cracks. Super cool, isn't it? If you wanted to, you could pull off some of these chips of paint and make it even look more worn. They will come off if you don't seal it, so it's important to do that. I'm using Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish in a dead flat finish. I don't want the window frame to be shiny. In order to look weathered, it should be a matte finish. Some of the Crackle pieces are lifting up, which is normal. So as I'm adding the sealer, I'm pressing them down. I'll let that dry for an hour and then add a second coat to make sure my chips will stay in place. I just love this look. If you saw this window on a building, how old would you say the building was? 100 years or more maybe? Let me know in the comments. Some of your chipped paint will stay lifted. As long as you have the varnish on it, you're fine. They'll stay in place. I sanded off any large chunks of the Crackle paste that got on the edges of the frame. I did this step after sealing it, so I wouldn't have to worry about handling it and having any chips fall off. Okay, it's time to do some decoupage. I'm going to use Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish in a satin finish for this part of the project. I'm going to use this as my final sealer, so I'll also use it as my decoupage glue. You can do this with any of the Polyvine varnishes. All of them can double as an adhesive, and they work so much better than the most popular decoupage glue. I laid out the paper and taped it in place so nothing would move. I added my varnish section at a time right over the paper, removing the tape as I went. I like to decoupage this way because it gives me better control over the placement. The varnish will seep through the paper, adhering it nicely. I'm putting it on there generously, especially on the edges. This will need to dry for an hour, and then I'll add another coat to seal it properly. And let that dry for an hour as well. I test all the products that I recommend in my videos. I won't recommend anything that I haven't used myself and prefer. If I'm recommending it, you can bet it's a great product. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. And this is how you get an amazing shine with this varnish. I let the first coat dry for an hour, and now I'm sanding it very lightly with a fine grit sandpaper. I'll wipe off the dust and then give it another coat of varnish. You can repeat this process as many times as you like. Each time you'll get a little bit more of that flawless shine that Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish can provide. Make sure you allow it to dry for a full hour between coats. I'm using a special paintbrush that is made by Polyvine specifically for their varnishes. It's wonderful and spreads the varnish out nicely, eliminating brush marks. Wait until you see how the contrast between the shiny back piece and the drab matte finish of the window frame look together. The contrast looks amazing. Just wait until you see this put together. Both pieces are dry and ready to go, so it's time to glue them together. I added a gold hanger at the top, which will end up between the two pieces. I'm using Aleene's tacky glue and putting a generous amount on the back of the window frame piece, but not too much because I don't want it to seep out from under the window frame. I laid it on top of the back piece and put clips all around to hold it tight while it dries. I let this set overnight, then removed all my clips. I'm going to add some shadows around the window frame cutout. I'm using Pentart antique paste in the color umber. This is going to add some depth to the window. I'm putting it on with a brush around the inside edges and then wiping off the excess with a dry, soft cloth. I did this to each section and then let it dry for a few hours. This antique is solvent-based, so you'll need mineral spirits to clean your brush. Everything else I've used today is water-soluble and can be cleaned with soap and water. I get a lot of questions about how I clean my brushes after all the products I'm using. I use Speedball pink soap for brushes. I'll leave you a link in my description box below. It works really well. It seems to remove paint you didn't even know was still in your brush. I think you'll like it. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. You won't want to miss any of the new projects coming up, so don't forget to subscribe. If you follow me, I'm sure you knew this was coming. I'm using Decor wax in the color Eternal around the outside edge of the window. This dries so shiny and beautiful. It's one of my favorite techniques. It's so simple, beautiful, and elegant, but it's so easy to do. I'm putting a small amount of the rub on my finger and rubbing it together with my thumb. Smearing it around like that prevents a large amount of your product ending up in one place. I'm adding a special bling at the end, so make sure you don't miss it. I'm going to use my mini bow dabber tool to make a beautiful bow for this project. There are vertical slits and horizontal slits. Add a thin cord or a small ribbon through the vertical slits. Then you can layer your ribbon back and forth in the horizontal slits, using as many layers of ribbon or as many different types of ribbon that you want to. After you have all your layers of ribbon, pull up the two ends of your small cord in the vertical slits and tie them together. You can then safely lift up your newly made bow. I bring the cord around to the back and tie it in a knot. Now you can add an embellishment to the center of the bow or another tiny bow. I just love this little tool. You can find this in my description box below in my favorite tools section in case you want to check it out. I have some really pretty greenery I'm going to add to the top by the bow, and then I decided to add some to the bottom as well. Right now I'm trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to add them. I don't exactly know what these are supposed to be but I just love them. Maybe some type of berries. The gold balls are kind of a frosty gold, so pretty. Now, it wouldn't be a Christmas project without a little snow. I'm adding it to all the sections of the window frame. So this looks like you're outside this beautiful window. And now for the bling I promised you. I found a button that looks just like a poinsettia, and it's going right in the center of the bow. I've added a link to a video that I think you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that video. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.